So I got an email from a company called TZ Audio, and they wanted to partner with me to unbox and take a look at one of their, mid-range condenser microphones. I don't do a lot of pro audio stuff besides for YouTube videos, but I've never had a non-shotgun condenser mic, so it piqued my interest. I also looked at if people actually bought this thing outside of paid partnerships, and it looks like a lot of people on the voice acting subreddit do recommend and use this microphone, and other professional audio recording communities do purchase this for actual use, so it piqued my interest. So let's take a look at what's in the box. It says Tech Zone audio products on the front, and it looks like, your typical condenser microphone, similar to that of Shure, etc., Blue Yeti. It says it's designed in Southern California. That usually just tells me that, the company's in Southern California, but they obviously manufacture in an Asian country. And this particular model is the Steller, Steller X3. So this is the slightly more expensive version of their condenser mics. I think they have a $200 one and a $250 one. This one is right now $350 on Amazon.com. So let's get to the unboxing. If you didn't know, I haven't been on YouTube in several months, and that's because I've actually moved houses. So even though this set looks the same, I'm actually in a different space now. I moved back to my hometown, which was about, 15 minutes away from where I was living before. But in traffic, it is a maybe 40 minutes, 30 minutes away. So it was an improvement in my commute to where I work. So that's why I did it. But that's why I was been gone for quite some time. All right. So this microphone, as I know it, only works with phantom power. So you need a 48 volt audio interface that can provide that phantom power, and it only has XLR. So opening the box. See what this is first. So we have some paperwork here. Sorry if you can't see it too good, but this is kind of nice. This microphone has gone under various testing and has been signed off by somebody. That looks like actual pen to me, but if it is or not, it doesn't really matter. And it has serial number, date of completion. So this one was built last year, 3/23/2023. What kind of test did they do? They do a burn-in test, polarization voltage test, frequency sweep, sensitivity, and noise floor, visual inspection. These are kind of misleading. It says frequency sweep plus or minus 1.5 dB, which means it's essentially flat, but it doesn't say what the sweep, between which frequencies where they did the sweep. So that doesn't really tell you much, but it's kind of nice. Here they have, let's see, this regular documentation, something describing the quality control, the warranty, and then more information like the actual frequency response graph and the microphone pattern. Now, one thing about condenser microphones is that they have a bigger pattern than a dynamic microphone. So dynamic microphone, there'll be something called cardioid or hypercardioid, meaning the space where it picks up sound the most around the microphone is quite small, whereas condenser mics, and especially shotgun condenser mics, pick up sound from further away, and generally a shotgun mic will pick it up in a certain direction, whereas this style one will kind of be omnidirectional to some extent. All right, so it says frequency range 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and it looks like it's flat from 45 to about, 5 kilohertz, and then it kind of goes up, and then at the high range, and then down at the low range. Cool. That's that. And quick start guide, you have to have the phantom power. All right, get that paperwork out of the way. Now, it comes in a really cool case, apparently. I've seen from other videos. So let's flip this out. Yes, it has a, it's not metal, but it looks like metal carrying case, so that's pretty neat if you want to protect it or take it somewhere. I probably would not use this unless I was like permanently transporting it, like when I moved. Compare this to here. This is a Sennheiser MKH 416 shotgun mic case. This is all plastic. Not quite as nice as this for transport. And this is a significantly more expensive microphone from, you know, a very well-known company. So opening this up. Ooh, makes you feel like it's special. Yes. So what do we have here? We have a leather pouch carrying case. May not ever use this, but is there. You have the microphone itself. It feels pretty hefty. It's in this plastic bag. Let's take this out. So it's a Steller X3, and then the TZ Audio logo, which is kind of reminiscent of an Audio-Technica product. You have on this side a low-pass filter. Yeah, low-pass. No, high-pass filter, or flat. So it gets rid of rumbles or things like that. And then you have an attenuation, so you have a 10 dB pad, which will more or less, you know, if your source is too hot, you can turn that on and it'll reduce how loud it is. And then the only output is XLR on the bottom, of course, since it requires phantom power. What else? You get a pop filter. So this is the pop filter. Inside, you have a, looks like what is a thread adapter for different size of maybe microphone mount. Not sure. As I said, not an audio expert, so I'm not totally familiar with all the accessories that come with it. And you can just put the pop filter on. Looks like it's a pretty tight fit. What does this remind you of putting on? Yeah, like that. I probably don't need it, but we'll see. And then lastly, what we have here is the shock mount. So a shock mount is, I'll show you. A shock mount is used for holding a microphone such that little impacts or vibrations or things like that do not affect the microphone sound. So it's kind of a suspension mount. You see these have like little bungees and things like that. So if there's shake, it doesn't shake the microphone too much, and you won't hear like changes in the sound because of that shaking. So if I had to guess, this goes onto here. Let's tighten it up. And then this can go on the end of a microphone mount. Oh no, this arm here goes on the end of a microphone mount, and the XLR cable goes to the bottom of the microphone. That makes a lot more sense. Not sure how this, oh, this has threads too. So this should go on a standard microphone mount, or maybe that's what the thread adapter is for, if you need to adapt it to your microphone mount. So let me set this up. I'll do a little bit of recording on it with this same setup using the interface on my recording camera, and you can compare how that sounds to how I've been sounding so far through the Sennheiser MKH 416. So I have a little janky setup of it. I just pulled the microphone cable off my stand, and I'm just gonna hold this. So let me know how you think it sounds. The low pass filter is not on, and I have 10 dB of attenuation on, just because it seemed a little bit hot on the level monitor. Generally, I'm kind of speaking at it at a little bit of a distance, since this is a condenser mic, so you don't have to be like close like this when using a dynamic microphone. Now, I'll review this and I'll give you my own impressions on it. So I listened to the recording of the TZ Audio XE3 mic, and it sounded a little bit more hollow than I expected versus the Sennheiser shotgun mic I have set up here. That might be because I wasn't talking super close to it. The shotgun mic might be picking up better at a distance than this style of condenser microphone. So, but overall, it sounded pretty clean. That was just a first impression. I'm going to do a more in-depth review of this microphone versus a dynamic Shure microphone for YouTube and podcasting and voice over work, just to test the idea that condenser microphones are worse in untreated environments versus dynamic microphones because of their pickup pattern, and really put that to the test, have some background noise. And all my rooms that I record in are untreated. This room has carpet, so it's not the worst, but there's untreated walls, so there's still reflections and things like that. So stay tuned for that. But for this video, I'm done, and this is Tech Addict, and I'm signing out again.